Hello, hello! How are you all doing today? We're doing good. Like, I was totally having a conversation with my sister on the phone. No, no, I don't. Okay, I'm just checking my Facebook. Because, How did my courier do? Well, better than next door, apparently. I love you! I love you! I love you! I give you bread. I love you. You want bread? I give you bread. Is Tabitha coming in today? Or is she busy? Love you. I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you. She has been informed. Amazing. Right. Good. I should look at the camera and not at the chat screen, although then I can't see what's being said, so let me just bring you all up on my phone, which actually informed me that I am streaming on time for a change. Yeah, I know I'm live. No, I don't want to do that. No. There we go. Chat room. I love you. Hello, Tap Taps. I love you. I love you. Fuck, I loves you. I loves you so much. I love you. Oh, right, okay. Hi. How you doing? So we've got a little bit of a different camera angle again today, and I was like properly having an argument with, because what normally you all are on is this thing. Okay, this is my tentacle. Originally bought for my phone, and it had like a little thing, and the little thing that it had broke, and it screws into my webcam, and it's vaguely useful. And I was properly having an argument with it today, because obviously you are in fact all on my lap because the table's been put away. And I spent ages going, I can't get it to do what I want it to do. Can I slip it on? It's like falling over. Oh yeah, totally. And then I went, why don't I just take this off of the camera and do what I used to do and balance the camera on a box? So that's what I've done. So you're all on a box today. Right, so something a little bit different again today, because we like to shake it up. I do still need to finish the poster from last night's stream, which I will be doing. But firstly, I have to introduce you to my spiky balls. My spiky balls light up. Yeah, okay. So, what we're going to need today. I'm normal. Sacrificial brush. Sacrificial brush. Oh, look at it, so bent and so loved. What? A sacrificial brush? No, you mean a spiky ball. Love the spiky ball. Yeah, so sacrificial brush will be needed for gluing, which means that the fan favourite is back. The Mod Podge mat. Look at it. Smaxy. Yeah, so we need some Mod Podge. We're also going to need some sharp, pointy things. Now, if you are a child, or generally under the age of, I don't know, in this room, probably under the age of like 35, make sure you get help with what we're going to be doing today, or a pair of fabric scissors, but again, ask for permission. I will maybe be using my rotary cutter, depending on how sharp the blade is, or my sharp pointy thing, because we're going to be cutting leather. So to cut leather, we are also going to need some leather. No, that's not how this works. don't be getting your aunt to make it for you. Hello. So you'll need some leather. If you don't have leather, because you're not me and you don't randomly have some leather lying around, you can also use some cardboard, double thickness cardboard will work. You can also use like a thinner leather but with a fabric backing on it, like some canvas, or a very thick canvas. There are options. So you'll need those. I, as always, like to be extra, so I decided I wanted a lining. So I got one of my batik dyed special papers out for the inside. And I'm looking at it, not sure it'll be big enough. You could use just a fabric, but it would depend on the thickness. You'll see what I mean in a bit, but you need, these are the books we'll be using today. You're going to need something that's going to hold these and the elastic, or you know, whatever you're using to hold these into your cover. So just a thin fabric would crumple under the elastic, so you might want to maybe use like a heat and bond stiffener on there to kind of give it a little bit more substance. They say that you're looking at something that's roughly, in fact, something like that. It can do that and kind of hold it. So I would say maybe double thickness of one of those. So like, if you know, like the A4 card you can buy from Poundland. We know you've missed my Poundland stuff. Are we on the bingo? Is it? Interesting. I'll look into that afterwards. Yeah, so for those of you who are playing bingo, Poundland sells A4 card, and you can basically just use 2 of those glued together with your Mod Podge, obviously. I'm actually now slightly concerned that I'm sharing misinformation on Facebook, but that's fine. You will need some elastic. Now, I was recently I was given some boxes of free things like buttons and ribbon and one labelled elastic. Right, so I excitedly opened it up this morning because forethought and planning, as we all know, is not my specialty. And I opened it up and it didn't have the right elastic in it. I was like, how dare they? This person gave me this thing for free and it does not have the right elastic in it. Okay, so the right elastic would look like that. Okay, so it's like a round. These are actually off of an old face mask because I keep everything. Okay, I literally just keep everything. We don't have any of that. I have some, but it's not long enough. So we're going to do a bit of experimenting. So I've got this piece of thin, like, sew-in elastic that goes around your waistband. I also have these kind of like, what are these used for? They're like out of like trousers and hoodies and stuff. So these ones are the ones I'm hoping will work. Just something with a little bit, it doesn't have to stretch. I also have this shoelace. We're all gonna do this together. We're gonna find out how this works because I know how it should work. Just don't have the right elastic. Oh, I'm so tired. My coffee is cold. My coffee is cold. Okay, that's like the worst thing in the world that could happen to me. Now, there are like a million videos on how to do this, okay? And I watched a couple last night to refresh my poor little memory. And one of them was going on about burnishing the leather. Now, I could do that. I'm not going to. I'm lazy. This is like, I bought these for like £2 or something from Wilkinson's and went, I want a cover for them. We're going to go Traveller's Journal. So literally using what's lying around the house. Now, with burnishing, you can use special tools and all sorts of stuff. And I just, no. You can even do it with a spoon and your own saliva. And I decided that wasn't something I wanted to do on stream. You all don't need to see me spitting on some leather. So we're not going to do that. I'm just going to make it pretty. Okay? So that's kind of what you need. Before we start, if we have time today, and if not, I'll do it next week, and that's a definite. I wanted to show you the smallest book I have ever made. Okay, and this is just some cardboard from, what was it from? It would have been like the back of something. Just like a thin grey board. and some printer paper. Hey John, how you doing? Oh my goodness, normally I have no moderators. Today I get 2. So yeah, so this is made with printer paper, and it's all just glued together. It's just like a tiny book. I'm gonna scale it up a little bit and make whatever half of A6 is. A7 and A8. If I don't get to do that today, I will do that next week and show you how to make one of these tiny little perfect bound books. Just for keeping. Yeah, I am tired. My meds are making me tired. I could quite happily go back to sleep right now. But then I only drank half my coffee before I went cold. I blame Kaylee, she kept ringing me. And definitely not because I forgot it existed. So yeah, that's something we're going to look at making as well. So we're going to start our bookmaking journey. That's basically what I'm saying. Your sleeping pattern, by the way, is actually awful. Like, I thought mine was bad, but yours is actually terrible. Let's put you all over there. Yeah, no. I'll be blaming you. Like, you were literally on the phone whilst I was waiting for people to turn up, so it's obviously your fault. Right, so, first things first. We are going to get our bit of leather, or cardboard, or whatever we are using. And I'm going to take you down to the Paradise City, where the grass is green. The girls really aren't that pretty, to be honest. But, wait, the thing's not coming out. Bear with me. There we go. Okay. Okay. How's that? No, that's my boobs. Stop looking at my boobs, you dirty perverts. Shush you. Nobody asked your opinion. Oh yeah. So you're back on boxes, can you tell? Yes. Clearly. Why is that not doing its thing? Right, this camera and me are gonna have a falling out because it has a job to do and it doesn't like. There we go. Right. So first thing we need to do is do some kind of measuring. And because I'm tired and cannot be bothered to actually measure, what we're going to do is try and figure out if I can make this fit in here. So kind of there with enough space. And actually, we'll turn it around. And you're a knobhead. I can tell. I'm making a poster that says knobhead and everything. So what I'm thinking of doing is actually adding a little bit of a gap, a flap gap? No, to kind of like keep it all closed. So gonna get my trusty pencil. That's not pencil, that's a glue pen. That's not even the same. There we go. Cannot draw with glue. Mate, I'm so all over the place. Like I'm getting 12 hours sleep. I don't know how I'm so bloody tired. Right, so we're just gonna totally not gonna be able to see this because it's pencil on leather. Just wait, the elephant's next to me. Alright, I can use it. There we go. Let's try this. Shut up. Nobody's asked your opinion. Right, so I'm going to, right, just for a minute, I'm going to mark that there so I can see where I am. And then check that that will fit there. And then, just for sake of sanity, I do that. Will they all fit into? Just about. So this will literally be designed for 3 of these. No more and no less. I don't have any chalk. Everything's in boxes. Which part of everything is in boxes do we not understand? Everything is in boxes or in piles waiting to go into boxes, which is also fun. Alright. So, what? That's Etsy. Etsy of... Oh, yeah, no, that's because I had a moment of madness last night and decided I totally needed to learn a new craft. No, because I don't know enough crafts already. I decided, alright, that I needed another one. Okay, so I've decided I'm going to try and learn how to do tatting It's a type of lace making that looks so much easier than the type of lace making I already do. So that's cool. Oh my goodness. Those of you who don't know, I do bobbin lace, which is a very, 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 very old way of making lace, and involves some very fine thread and patience and a cushion, and it made, like, it was just such a big thing back in the day. Just going to mark where they are on there. There we go. And it's a little bit time consuming, honestly. I love doing it. My nan taught me how to do it. My nanny Haynes taught me how to do it before she died, and it's her cushions that I've got, and it's cool and everything, but like I say, it's a little bit time consuming. So I've decided, my infinite wisdom, to learn another craft. So I totally bought what I needed for it last night. Once I add my lining, that's not going to show up. Right, so I'm just going to do a very quick measurement so I can try and get the centre of where we're going here. So it's roughly 6 inches, so we're going to get roughly there for the centre, and do a little bit of a, what are we doing, because we haven't got much of a thing there, so if we do that about 1.5 inches, totally making it up as go along, by the way, because actually probably only 1 inch. Let's see. Yeah, so I've got 1 inch there. And this is just literally just to add a bit of decorative nonsense onto it. Might even be able to tuck it in, but I doubt it. We'll see. Might add an extra like section on top of it. Or, actually thinking about it, I've had an even better idea. Bear with me. I've had an idea. It's dangerous, I know. Right, but if I mark 2 inches either side, and then, what are we looking at? 4. If we're making a traveller's journal, or Jazz's version of a traveller's journal, which is basically a folio case that you can keep already existing exercise books in, or simply made and simply bound books in. And swap them out as and when you need them. You know, we're doing it in A6 so it can fit in a bag. And I'm just being extra because you all want to learn, right? So that's what we're making today. So these are really rough measurements because measurements. The other thing that we do want to do that is important is mark where the holes are going to go, and the holes are quite important. So we're going to need 3 sets of holes, and the way this works is, that's not a very straight line, is it? God. Right, so you want 1/2 inch in, and then you want 3/4 inch from that, and the same on the other side, 1/2 inch in, and then 3/4 inch from that, and then you want one in the middle, which in this case is at 3 centimeters. Alright, and I'm going to draw a line because we're making 3 holes across there. Okay, and having 5 holes is important. That's the important bit. You want 2 at the top, 2 at the bottom, and 1 in the middle. Okay. Since Kaylee has run away, I might give it a second and run through that again because it is important. All right, I cannot stress enough. All right, I'm going to do the holes every 1/2 centimeter because I like mixing up my measurements. Yeah, I cannot stress enough how important it is to have those 5 measurements, those 5. If you're only using 1 book, if you're making it for 5 books, none of that matters as long as you have the 5 holes. Obviously this would be a lot easier if I was only making it for 1 book, you know, but why would I do something like that and make my life easier? Honestly. Okay, so, and then I've marked all the way down where I'm going to do my holes, which I will do with an awl. Obviously you can use a hole punch if you have one. If you're using card, you can use a paper hole punch to do this. I'm actually just going to draw a line down there and then draw a line down there so I know roughly, and try and get it in rough straight line. Rough straight line. Doesn't have to be perfect, it just has to be rough. Okay, so we've got 5 marks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've drawn 3. Well, I've drawn 2 lines, but technically it's for 2 lots of holes for 3 books. So each book gets its own. Wait, I've only drawn 2 lines. Yeah, so the holes will go here, here, and here. Confused myself then. Here, 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 and you put 1 hole in the middle of each of these lines. Okay, we're using leather, so it will hold its strength a little bit more. If you're using card, you might want to get some hole reinforcers or put a dab of glue around the hole. It should be alright, but they might be a little bit close together, so you might want to do it a little bit further apart. Right, you're back. I'm going to reinforce how important this bit is, because this bit's important. You need to have, no matter how many books you're putting into this, 5 holes. 1 1/2 an inch down. 1 3/4 of an inch down from that, which would be 1 1/4 inches. Then you want 1 exactly in the middle, which on this is 3 inches. Then at the bottom, you want 1 1/2 an inch up and 1 3/4 of an inch up from that. Those 5 measurements there are the only part of this entire thing that's actually really important. You need those 5 holes, okay? Where have I put the lid to my pen? There we go. That's the important bit. It's the only bit of this entire thing that I'm like, no, you need to get that into your brains. Where is my awl? Literally had it a second ago. I'm so like missing my table. I want my table back. If anybody wants to come and help me out with all this crap at the minute, that'd be nice. Oh my god, don't do it. Right, so stop sliding all over the place. The first thing I'm going to do right now is cut out some of this leather because it's getting a bit too big to be wieldy, and then we'll do the holes with an awl. I'm just gonna, I don't know why my red is out, but I'm going to put it back and put the black back because we no longer need that, because we can use pencil for everything else. Close the elephant, and where is my do you know, I think if my head was not permanently attached to my body, I would probably lose it 96 million times a day. Just like, have you seen my head? It was literally just here and I turned around and now it's gone. That's how I think, there we go. They're all hiding underneath my glue pen. That's how I think that would happen. I know, right? I know you love a good angle of glue. Right, so this is my awl. An awl is literally a pointy thing with a handle. My awl is not as sharp as it used to be because it's done a few years of good service. Right, but first things first, I'm going to find out if my rotary cutter has a sharp blade in it. So let's do that. I'm going to go with no, but we'll have a look. Okay. Right. Oh, look at that. Okay, that's That's alright. Can you live with that? Right, this like the bit of leather that I've got, I had a hide that was gifted to me. And I cut this off the hide because it was like an excess bit on the top. And the hide's like not usable for quite a lot of people because it has quite a lot of imperfections. No, don't do that. So it's just, I happen to have leather lying around because I actually have in the other room somewhere an entire bag of leather offcuts. Are you enjoying my ASMR? Cool. Alright, so we're just gonna do a quick cuts. Quick. I actually really like this bit. I'm kind of like, wish I could figure out a way of incorporating it. But, I don't know. Bear with me one momento because I'm thinking I might actually, I mean it would mean that you could see the book, but I don't think that's going to be a problem. Like, that's what I'm thinking, because I really like that, just that natural section of like, yeah, I might move everything this way then, which means a little bit of a redesign. Which means getting the pen back out. Ugh, why did I put the pen away? Let's try purple so I don't get my lines mixed up. Oh yeah, that's a good point. Quandary. It looks so good, but I might just, well, I'll cut it off where it's meant to be, and then I might use it as a feature on the outside of the journal somewhere. I think is going to be the best way to do that. So we'll figure it out, because I really do like that little section. ASMR and slight wobbliness, bear with me. Please note, as unusual as it is, I'm actually using a cutting mat. So if you're doing this for a change, I'm going to recommend actually using a cutting mat, alright? Just I know normally I'm not that bothered, but for this one, come on, there we go. I'm going to recommend we actually use a cutting mat. Okay. Right, now, I have made sure that I've got a little bit of space for closing, so that should be cool. You will see. I'm going to leave that one there for now, so I'm just going to cut off. So where my line is, I'm actually going to cut off about 1/2 inch higher. So you see where my line is there. So just to kind of give me a little bit of working space, I'm going to just kind of give myself a little bit of extra. You see? Okay. Demonetized. Don't, whatever you do, touch the sharp blade. Oh my god. Nice one, guys. Nice one. If this was YouTube. Did you know YouTube demonetized for any sight of blood? Like, which there is probably now going to be a small amount of. Isn't it? It's like a paper cut. It's fine, right? We just kind of hurt. I asked my brother the other day if we had plasters. He said we were too poor. Just like, oh, too poor for plasters. Poop. Alright. Cost of living and all that. Where are you going? It's because I'm bleeding. See? Get all the live action. Well, don't! Stop running away. Is it because I'm bleeding? Ow. I mean, what is it, right, about when you cut yourself? If you do it properly, like you accidentally cut yourself all the way down to the bone, yeah, you get hardly any blood, right? But you do the tiniest cut in the world ever, on like your finger, like a paper cut or some shit. Excuse my language, I'm bleeding. And it's like, got the most amount of blood. Where are my scissors? Oh, they're in the box. I put them away. Are we done? Are you finished? Can we stop bleeding now? I wouldn't take that as a no. Ah, honestly. Stop it. Stop it. And this is why, children who are watching this, we always get, I didn't even cut it that much. Oh my God. Some kind of parental supervision. I need parental supervision. I don't know about the children watching. I need parental supervision. Why? Because I touched the blade. By accident and slight look. Did it got the world's tiniest slice, but it won't stop bleeding. It's a good lesson. It's a good lesson in not cutting yourself open. That's. I'm just going to put you all up here for a moment. As you can see, you were balanced on this. Right. Just so I realise it's not as close of you, but I just need. Nah. Thanks, John. I'm going to ignore that advice, but thank you. Okay, so I'm just going to carry on bleeding for a moment. I haven't got any. I asked Smiley to get some from work. I've got no tissue next to me. I've got no blue roll. I've got nothing. No plasters. Wait. I'm going to use a shoelace. Alright, I'm just going to... No, I got nothing. I told you, I'm poor. It's fine. I'm fixing it. By cutting off the circulation to my finger. I'm just going to DIY it for one moment. Bear with me. I'm going to... So yeah, have plasters. That's the other lesson for today. When playing with blades that you weren't sure how sharp they were, it's fine. Where's my... Oh, there it is. Yeah, so sharp things are sharp. That's what we're going to take from this, okay? And when I say you're going to need adult supervision, right? I'm generally not joking. This message specifically goes out to any small child who may be watching right now. Sharp things are sharp. Please have supervision when using the sharp things, alright? Don't do what I do and mess up a lot, alright? Because you don't do it. There is a... Yeah. Just like, I should probably take my own advice. Oh dear. Just gonna give that a minute to like... It's fine. I'm just going to stick that on there. That'll stop any blood from getting over what we're doing. It's fine. Right, so whilst you're all over there, I'm going to do the cutting, and then I'll bring you all back closer for the less cutty bits, and then you won't fall over. And maybe if I cut myself again, you won't have to deal with it. I just, you know. So, like I said, I'm giving myself a good ½ inch space. That needs tightening. Just to kind of give myself a little bit of playroom for if we decide to do anything decorative on the edges. Probably won't, but we have choices. Choices are always good. And I'm just going to neaten up the other side because it's got this bit of wavy texture in it, because you know it used to be on a cow. Because this is a cow hide, unlike my usual leather, which is from a rabbit, which is really floppy. Honestly, I'm expecting this board to break any second now, because it's just going to be one of those days. I'll get the sharp pointy thing out. Put that away a second. If you're using a craft knife, you may need to go over the lines a couple of times. Obviously, I've already made the lines with the rotary cutter, so it's not so bad. Right, now for the bit where I decided to be a little bit extra. So I'm just going to cut out this little design I made. So you'll see that I'm having to go through that cut a couple of times. It is a particularly new blade in this, so it's fairly sharp. And you'll see what I have done it in a second. Okay. So what I'm thinking is, when the books are in there, obviously it'll be folded like that. You'll have your elastic over there, so that bit will be able to fold in. Do you see? And it'll be under the leather. This is what I'm thinking. Right, what I am going to do is just very gently score each of my lines, just to give it a bit of a fold. What I've not decided yet, actually. Now, normally, what you would do is you would have your nice shiny side out, you know, like that. Beautiful. I actually really like the, it's fine. Yeah, so we'll do it that way for this one, but then for the next one, we'll do it the other way. It's fine. Just like, I'm second guessing myself a lot today. Just like, yeah, but do I want it like that? Do I? Don't know. I might not. I might want it in entirely another way. It's fine. If you did want to use leather, obviously there are lots of places you can buy leather from online. But most of my leather comes from a reenactors market that happens twice a year in Coventry. And I know lots of people that go there, so we can always get more leather. That's fine. For if you know, we're thinking to yourself, I really want some leather, I want to do it that way. You can also, if you are vegetarian or vegan, get vegetarian and vegan leathers. However, I would recommend that if you can get hold of any leftover leather that's not going to be used for anything else, it is a much better use of it to do this than to leave it to rot away somewhere or end up in landfill. which you know would be bad. Okay, so I quite like that. I don't know about that bit. I might get rid of that bit, but then, yeah, no, do it. I'm not sure about that bit. The creative process. Alright, so obviously I did a double arrow here. I'm actually going to get rid of this one because I don't like it. It was a nice idea, but I think it hinders the actual strap from doing what I want it to do. So obviously I'm just going to... Why did I not use the sharp knife in the first place, right? Why did I decide that I was going to use the rotary cutter? Oh, because I thought it would be easier. It wasn't. The rotary cutter wasn't easier. It's sharp, but it wasn't easier. Hey! Congratulations on your Fortnite win. What skin are you wearing today? Are we still a strawberry? John, you're a game streamer. What do you need? Oh, cool. To set up as a gaming streamer if you're not showing your face. There you go. So that'll be like that. Wait, no, like that. Depending. Maybe you're right or left-handed. Whatever. I've lost the other. I haven't at all. That's like the least helpful thing ever, thank you. Okay, so we're gonna make some holes. Gonna push the awl through. Make sure your hand is not behind and all the way through. I love this hole. We've been through so much together. Again, just find where your marks are. We are possibly going to have to widen these holes. I'm going to go through on each side. That's fair. That's fair. I was just thinking, in case like Kaylee ever gives the kids permission to stream their gaming. So we're literally just where my marks are, getting the awl, pushing it through, and then I've got fingers either side of where the awl is coming through, and then pushing it all the way down. I have no idea what I'm doing most of the time, to be fair. Again, this is a pointy tool. It is dangerous, so do be careful. He's such a great parent. I mean, they'd have to be less screamy if they were streaming. I'm just saying they couldn't be screamy on a stream because, you know, it's bad. I love that I'm doing this like really important thing, but when I cut myself open, like I dropped 3 viewers. Like three people have just gone, no. Maybe it was because I'm too poor to afford plasters. I say that. I've just I put the PayPal up today for all the people that said that they were, you know, like when people go, oh yeah, I'll give you some money towards that. So I put the PayPal link up for people who said that for my birthday for this tattoo, and I pretty much reckon nobody is gonna actually follow through with that. It's fine. I do have the money. It's just not the point. Ah dear. Right, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go over the back and go back through the holes just to kind of open them out a little bit more, because leather likes to self-heal. It did used to belong on an animal after all. Don't do what I think you're going to do just there. I will be upset. think I've hidden those holes too close together. I don't know how, because the rest are all fine. And I think that's going to form one hole, but we'll see. And if it does, we'll deal with it then. Yeah, so I'm just going back through to just open these holes up a little bit more. You could, if you were using something like an actual hole punch, you could even add eyelets and proper grommets and stuff. I'm not doing that. This is, you know, this is the budget channel where we do things on a budget. But you know, you have options. You can make it as pretty as you want. Okay, that's the point. All right. Now, there are several ways you can do this next bit. I am going to do it with 3 separate pieces that I don't know how I'm going to get through there yet. Might actually. I wonder. Yeah, but then you're not going to be able to. It might. Let's have a look. Let me see. I can't undo this now because I've got no nails because I cut them all the other day. So I'm just going to try and undo a knot. I'm gonna just cut off this knot. Ah dear. Right, I'm just gonna cut off this knot. It's fine. Can you cut off? There we go. Alright. And then have I got something else also relatively thin? Look like this bit of ribbon. Didn't I like take some elastic off of another face mask yesterday? I mean, to be fair, I've got a whole box of them, but I don't want to ruin one just to take the elastic off. This is a great like use for elastic from face masks. I've decided, like, I don't actually know if it's going to work or not, but I've decided I've decided that this is what this is going to be used for. That's fine. No, I totally don't know where that other bit is. But we've got this flat bit here. Right, so I've lost the lid to the. Honestly. Okay, now here comes the difficult bit, and I don't entirely know how I'm going to do it because I've packed my wire. But you need to be able to get your whatever you're using for thread through these holes. Now, that's not going to work, so it's going to have to be this. Obviously one of these has got to be the bit that's going to tie it all together, which needs to be bloody elastic. Honestly, right? Alright, that should do. Right, so we're going to try and get this through the hole. Now, this probably won't work. We're doing it together. Some things are just important. It's not going to work. It's fine. Let's see if I can make this hole a little bit bigger. And the problem I've got is that the way this leather has been treated means it's actually ripping the leather rather than punching it. Are we enjoying the Jazz has got no idea stream? This is not my usual style of book. Like, I could make you a Coptic stitched book from start to finish with no problems at all. I've recently discovered that I can do like case-bound books. It's not as easy, but I can do it. But, you know, ask me to do the simple thing that's meant to be easy, and I'm all like, no, that's quite difficult. Oh dear. So all I'm doing right now is I've got my knife and I've put it in the hole, and I'm just trying to make the hole a little bit bigger. Alright. Because I need to be able to do this. That's fine. Joe, one day in my life, I might not do a thing. You know, I might decide that the thing is maybe not something I should do. I totally forgot to go back in on the other side and cut with the knife, so I'm just doing that. Okay, right, so I've got a hole. It's a fairly decent hole. It's just this first one, like, because it's got to get the double width of whatever elastic or string that you're using through it. It's just being a little bit more difficult. The rest will be fine, they said, with a hopeful tone in their voice. The rest might not be fine. Right, get in the hole. So obviously if you're using proper elastic, this bit would be much easier. Much easier. If you hadn't packed everything in readiness for the people to come round and do things to your house, this would probably also be a lot easier. Okay, just there's a million ways that would make this easier, like having the right tools would make this easier. Ooh, it's a hair grip, that might make it easier. I've got an idea. Like, I swear my streams are like 90% of me going, I don't know what I'm doing, and 10% of people going, why are we watching this? This person obviously does not know what they're doing. Yes, okay, so I've used a hair grip and I'm trying to use it as a needle. Again, if I knew where my pliers were. Wait, are they in the box? Because this box hasn't got upstairs yet. Goodness, let me have a quick look. Yes, they are in the box. Amazing, amazing. So, right, I've got some pliers, and I'm now going to try and pull this makeshift needle. It's totally not going to work. Oh God. Alright, we need to use a different thread. That's not going to work. It's too thick. It's too thick, ladies and gentlemen, and those in between. So we're going with the shoelace. The shoelace is up. Like I said, we're literally just going to experiment until we find the right thing, because I don't have the right thing. So we're going to find the right thing together. That's, you know, it's fine. Alright. Again, we're going to poke this through the hole. Now, when you're doing this, you're going from the inside to the outside, alright? Because we need this loop to be on the outside. That's important. This first bit. Oh, look at that, it worked. Nah. Right, the other thing you need to check before you go any further is that your loop will go over your book. So that needs to be a little bit longer. So we're going to pull that through a little bit more. Okay. And then your loop goes over your book. So that needs to be like that. Okay, so that's a little bit too loose. So we're going to pull this back through here. Because obviously this is going to be the bit that holds it all together. So your loop will go from the inside to the outside. It needs to be, obviously if you're using elastic for this bit, which I really wish I was, A, it's a lot easier to thread through. B, this little section here of getting the right length is less of an issue because it will stretch, whereas this has no stretch to it. So I just need to make sure that it's not too big and it's not too loose, basically. It's a little bit of finagling, but it'll work. There you go. So that's about where you want it. So that's the length I've got. I go there, and then I've got the double bit going through here. Now, I'm going to take my makeshift needle, which in this case is a hair grip. We need to make sure that we don't loosen that bit out the back as we do this next bit. So I'm going to thread my makeshift needle. I'm liking it. I'm liking it. through the first hole. Right, so we've got it in the middle. We're going to thread it through here to the outside and then back through here. So I'll show you what I mean. I think the hole has closed up because that's just how leather works. Leather is a bit of a pain sometimes. So I'm going to take our makeshift needle out through this central hole. Okay, we're going to grab the pliers, pull the makeshift needle through, pull it, come on, do the thing. Struggle because your hole is not big enough. Pull it back through again because your hole is not big enough. Get a knife. Make your hole a little bit bigger. I love this. Try again. Put it back through. Pull it through. Come on, you can do it. A little bit of finagling. Always with the finagling. You can do it. There we go. Right, then we're going to pull that through. Oh shit, I haven't taken that bit off. Bear with me whilst I cut off a tiny bit. With these scissors that were apparently here all along, but in a box, obviously. Are we enjoying this? Are we learning? Oh dear. Nobody's talking anymore. I've broken everybody. Alright, so we're going to pull that back through there. Okay. La, 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 la. And then I'm going to go back through the top one. Again, I'm going to make that hole a little bit realer. Yeah, that's true. Do learn from my mistakes. I will make the mistakes so you all don't have to. How's that? Okay, and then again, we're going to grab it in that middle hole and push it back through. Yeah, like that. And what I suspected would happen did just happen, so that's fun. And then you're going to do the same on the other side, making sure that that loop stays the length that you need it. All right. Oh, fun. Oh, this bit comes with extra blood, apparently. That's fine. So again, we're going to reopen this hole because leather likes to heal. We're going to make it a tiny bit bigger with the knife because my awl was not quite big enough for the thread that I am using because my elastic isn't long enough. And then I'm going to, this is easier with the other two books because they don't need to be a cover. You see. I'm going to thread our makeshift needle through here. This is just totally proving as well that you really can use anything you've got lying around because it's a hair grip. Finagle. We're going to finagle. Come on. You want to do it. You know you do. I've totally bent the hair grip. It's a good job I don't use hair grips, isn't it? I don't even know how I own hair grips. I must have, like, they must have come with some hair bubbles or something. There we go. Pull that through. Like so. Straighten out our makeshift needle because we totally just bent it. There we go. And then again with this hole at the top, just going to make it a little bit bigger because we're using a shoelace, not nice thin elastic. Nice thin elastic would have been so much easier, and just, you know, if there had been some in the elastic box that I got for free. Ah dear, it's all good, it's fine, it's working, and that's, I mean, kinda working. The next two are a lot easier because you don't have to worry about that loop with the next two, so it doesn't need to be as long. come on, get through, get through. Okay, there we go. Right, so that's your first bit through. We're just going to untwist that because it's going to annoy me otherwise. Let's make it look pretty. Okay, pretty. Obviously, you can use whatever elastic suits you best. Now what we're going to do... The thing is with this as well, when I get some elastic, I can replace this in that because it's totally reusable. So I'm going to get whichever book I've decided is going to be in the middle, which in this case was going to be the... Did I decide to go for the lined one in the middle? Maybe. Well, now it is. So we're going to get the book that you're using, and you're going to find the exact middle. Okay, once you've got the exact middle, you're going to lie it down on your beautiful homemade mess, right? And you're going to tie whatever you're using around the middle. And you need it to be fairly tight because you don't want your book coming out. Again, if this was elastic, probably have less issues. Alright, so that's not going anywhere. That's in there, you know. Got it? Cool. Right, and then we are going to get the scissors, cut this excess because it is totally unnecessary. Alright, and we've got our first book in there. Now obviously, because we are using the what we've got lying around shoelace, it's not maybe as thin as you would like, but it does work. See? Do we see that? Let me just angle you a little bit so you can see that. Look at it, see? So that's your middle book. Alright, now again, like I say with the other two, keeping the loop is going to be less of an issue. So, if I can remember how to do this, the way you'll do it for this one, just use this as an example, is you'll still go out through there and in through there, and you'll still need enough to tie around your book. So what you can do is actually get a book, and if you've randomly decided to use whatever you've got lying around like I tend to, you can measure and you can be like, right, well, that's really not going to be long enough to tie. I need to use something else. What about the elastic? Well, we know the elastic will be because it's elastic. So, where did my makeshift needle go? There it is. We get our makeshift needle. We're going to reopen all the holes at the back, making sure that they do not join with the holes you've already made. Not that it really matters, to be honest. Going to get the knife. It didn't occur to me that I've made central holes for all of these, so I might... I could do something decorative. I'm not going to. Right, so the way I am going to do this, like I say, this is my personal one and this is not how many other people do it. I'm going to totally ignore the middle hole for now, because I don't want to make any more loops. I could do, I'm just going to thread the next lot. I'm using a waist elastic type elastic for this one. And try and make sure that it's roughly going to be the right length, in and out. Then I'm going to go back in through the top hole, Might actually put this one on YouTube as well. I'm gonna try and untwist that. Twistiness is annoying. I'll untwist it in a second. Pull that back through that hole. I said, there we go. I said, and then do the same at the bottom. Now, the other way that you could do this, and I could have done this with the shoelace, but it would have been an absolute nightmare. If you have a long enough piece of elastic, you can actually do all three with one piece of elastic. There's a special knot that you can do, and I did get photos of the ones that I've seen that you can do that with, which I will show you in a moment, because they're on my phone, because you know that's useful. We all know how showing photos on your phone works. It totally works. Sort that twist out in a second. Not that it overly matters, but so again, you're just gonna go back in. Now, I did accidentally join these holes at the top, which is gonna make life easier, to be honest, but it is annoying. It shouldn't have happened. My fault. That, you know, it's a thing. It happens. So I've got my elastic in. I'm not worried about a loop this time. Don't need to worry about a loop this time. And this will be the back of my book. So it'll be whichever one I've decided to put the back, which in this case is going to be the blank one. It's going to be the one I'm going to use the least because I don't really like the paper in it. And again, we're going to lie it down in the right place. We're going to get our elastic and we're going to tie it tightly. And I'm just doing a simple square knot here, granny knot if you will. And again, it's nice and tight, but easy enough to get the book in and out. So that's two that we've got in there now. So we just need to get this third one in. And realise that I probably got my measurements totally wrong, but that's all good. So you can kind of see it's like it's shaping up now. We've got, with the two books in there, I can get just about. I can't get like. Okay, baby girl, have fun. Remember to stay out of the way of cars. So I can get my loop over and it's all held together quite nicely. Bye! It's alright, I understood. And then we've got the third one to go in. I'm wondering if that actually would be long enough. Don't think it will. Yeah, but that doesn't mean other cars will have road sense, you know? It's not how. I'll try and use one of these for this one. Oh, cool. If you pull it, all the stitching comes undone. Nice. Oh, if I'd known that, I'd done it earlier. Makes it thinner. Today on Jazz's Unintentional ASMR. Unintentional ASMR. Yeah, maybe I should put a tag on there for ASMR and get all like the ASMR people coming in going, what is this? Why are you doing it to my ears? Oh, it's almost worth it. I'm not a bad person, honest. Oh dear. Obviously this is brand new leather. It's quite thick leather, so it's going to be... Oh, I didn't do it on that bit yet. Hang on. It's going to be, you know, quite stiff for a while. but the more I use it, the more... All three escaping the house. Run away! Yeah, so the more I use it, the more it's going to be shaped and battered and aged. Shaped, battered and aged. And that is the joy of kind of doing it, because like it grows with you, you know. Now I'm just making this waist tie that we've got a little bit thinner. This is like, and the main reason for doing all these different, like we've got elastic, we've got a shoelace. This is from a, like, maybe pajamas or something like that. And it's just to show you that you really can use anything you've got lying around. It's a really simple, and you can use fabric, and you can like make it, because like what I want to do is actually get some elastic once we've finished the stream, do it all properly, and add a lining to it, you know, which is why I got the nice paper and the Mod Podge out. So you can make it as basic as you want or as complicated as you want. And you can use bits of t-shirt that you've got lying around, or you know, bits of string, or just like anything you want. And I was looking on Etsy last night for things similar to this, because you can like buy inserts for these if you don't want to make your own. After I've used these 3 exercise books, I will be making my own, and I will show you a very simple pamphlet stitch book that you can use as a refill for these. But like, to buy this kind of folio style cover, because they're styled after a company called Midori who originally did them. I'm just literally going to cut straight down the centre. And because they're handmade and they're leather and stuff like that, people are charging like 40-50 quid for like this size, for this A6 size. And obviously the bigger you want it, the price goes up more. And I don't know about you guys, but I do not have 40 or 50 quid to be spending on basically a book cover. I just don't. Alright. So it started off looking like this, just like a standard like pajama-y type material that you have to tighten your trousers. I ripped all the stitching off it, and then I've cut it in half, and I've pulled it because pulling it kind of makes it thinner. Okay, and then I'm gonna yet again get our amazing homemade bookmaking needle, also known as a hair grip, and put that through the necessary holes. Or am I? I forgot to reopen the hole. Hang on. Hang on. Put the awl in the hole. Yes, I heard that, Kaylee. In my head. And we're going to do the exact same thing, where we're just going to sew through them, pull it through. Do we need to use... Oh, can you all stop running away? Yeah, you know. Okay, yep, there we go. So that works just fine. I'm going to pull that through there. Oh, where's my end? There it is. And again. So Kaylee lives in my head. I don't know if you all knew that. She has like her own little spot there. Where she where she makes me think things that I just need to not be thinking. Okay. And we're going to thread that back through there now that we've reopened that hole. Again, we're just doing that nice kind of... I actually kind of wish I'd done this for the middle one now. I might remake the middle one with this because it's got a little bit of stretch to it. We'll see. Okay. Ah! Ooh. I tell you what, it's a good job I keep blankets on my feet. I'm going to put the roly all off of my lap. Yeah, that's one word for it. Yeah, awesome. So just going to pull that through a little bit. And again, we're just going to do the same at the bottom. Put the awl back through the holes to reopen them a little bit, because leather heals. And then put our amazing make. Honestly, I'm adding this to my bookmaking kit because it's actually kind of genius. It's literally a hair grip. It's so useful. It's like so much easier than using an actual like bookmaking needle. Come on. Yep, I might need to actually stretch the hole on this one. We'll see. Why are you not coming through this time? What is your problem? Have you got all twisted? Oh yeah, yeah. Alright, so we're just gonna give that a bit of a widen with the knife. There we go. I'll try again. Sometimes you just need to make the hole bigger. Gonna finagle that through like so, and then we're going to go back through that top hole one last time. I'm totally going to change the middle for this particular fabric. It's awesome. It's just a t-shirt fabric. It's literally just t-shirt fabric. It's amazing. Like normally I weave with this stuff and make like bathroom rugs and everything. If you all want to learn how to do some basic weaving as well, I can show you that. I'll add that to the list of things that Jazz can show you. Yeah, I'm totally gonna... Yeah, I am. Genius. Changing your mind in the middle of a project. Right, and then we're going to get this one. This one's the dot grid. We're going to find the middle again. We're going to put it in the same place as the others. We're going to grab the fabric. We're going to tie it nice and tight. Put our finger in the right place. Not that finger, that's in the way. Like that. So that's nice and tight, it's not going to fall out. Brilliant. Okay, and now I'm going to totally redo the middle one so you can see me. Because I have totally changed my mind on how this is going to work. Right? Because I can. Because it's mine. And it also means I don't have to figure out how I'm going to fill the last half an hour. So, we're going to... Last half an hour? Oh god, I've still got an hour. Whatever. The stuff. You know the thing. I'm going to undo the shoelace that we used in the middle. Right. I'm going to undo... I said I'm going to... Come on. Oh yeah, no, I did show it at the beginning and said if we didn't have time today I would do it next week, but we might actually have time because this isn't actually taking quite as long as I thought it was, because I'm not doing the mega posh version that I wanted to do. You know, can you come undone? Oh, I'm pulling the wrong bits. Shush. Right, so I'm just going to take this out. This shoelacy one, okay. I'm going to pull that through there. I'm going to pull that through there, and I'm going to pull that through there. And this is how easy it is to change your elastic when it's time. You know, you can literally just pull it out. Okay. Yes, little books. We should have time actually. I will grab a piece of cartridge paper. I might even microwave my tea. I might put you all on hold. I've got no hold music. I might put some hold music on my phone. Right, so again, I'm going to go through the middle. Right, so we've got this bit of basically t-shirt material. And I'm going to find my middle, which actually is about there. I don't actually know if this bit's going to be long enough. I might need to, hang on, bear with me. Bears with me. No, I need to grab the other one. Right, so we're going to grab the other one. Is that going to be long enough? Measuring it against the bit of shoelace I just took out. Yeah, okay, cool. Right, so we're going to do the same again. We're going to make sure that all those stitches are broken. And we're going to run down it with knife or scissors. There's no children here at the moment, so I'm just going to run down it with a knife. If you are a child, or you have the brain of a child, or just generally identify as a child, whatever, I would suggest using scissors. If you are clumsy and feel it necessary to cut your finger open on a piddling rotary thing, I would maybe use scissors, but we're not going to do that. I'm just going to use the knife, and I'm just literally opening up these stitches to make it easier to cut it in half. That makes sense, doesn't it? Ah dear. Are we enjoying this? I love that right at the start of this, when I was all like, we're going to do this thing, there was like loads of viewers, and I cut myself open, and I've kind of changed my mind 96 times along the way, and it's like the least professional thing in the world. And now I think I'm probably down to Kaylee, John, and Rich. It's just like, it's fine. It's fine that I'm underappreciated by the world. And I was like, you know what? Starting a Twitch stream would be such a good idea. Like, at this rate, right? If I don't get the last 15 that I need, and to be honest, that I didn't even know you were here. But I'm seriously considering just dropping daytime streams altogether and just doing the Wednesday night. I mean, I don't get the viewing in anyway, no matter what time I do it. And I'm so close to affiliate and so far away. Yeah, I know. I just, you know when you like get to that point when you're doing something that you're just doubting yourself? I'm there. I'm doubting myself. Like, I can't not do it, because obviously the evening streams will be for the uni project, so I've got to carry on with at least the evening streams. But I don't know, people got me all excited about getting to affiliate, and I got all excited about getting to affiliate, and I think I need to just concentrate on the fact that I'm doing this crafting for you guys. Mostly Kaylee. Mostly teaching Kaylee new things. Which I could probably do, like, over the phone. Ah dear. It's fine. It's fine. I am just very tired and very angsty. See, I'm being a drama queen. That's what's happening. And I told Kaylee I wasn't a drama queen, but Sammy, you know more stuff than I will ever know. You do not need to learn from me. Right, so again, we've cut it in half. We're just going to give that a stretch. That'll help thin it out a little bit. clear up any extra threads from it. And when you stretch fabric from t-shirts, it kind of rolls in on itself, which is really useful. Screw you! Shut up, nobody likes you. Right, so we're going to find the middle. Still not as bad as my husband. Yeah, I don't like you though, right? Alright, so we're going to go back through the middle again. We're going to make the loop through the middle again. We're going to pull it. We're going to see how much we need to be able to go over the folio. So we're going to get that much, and we're going to go like that, and we're going to go, alright, I need a little bit more, come on, there we go, like that. That should do it. Cool. Alright, then we're going to get the little book that we decided to put in the middle. We're going to... Oh, I haven't done that bit yet. Hang on. I forgot a stage. It's alright. Keep going. Right, so we're going to thread the t-shirt material back through this hole. My dog is outside playing with next door's dogs. By playing, I mean winding up. That's because you're a nutter. Just saying. Alright, gonna pull that back through there. I'm gonna keep hold of that for a second. And then we're gonna go back through the top again. Hello. He likes to play. Right, this morning, when I got up, and he came to the bathroom with me, and he could hear them outside, and he literally was sat asking if he could go outside. And when I said, yeah, you can go say hello, he got all bouncy, did zoomies up and down the landing, and then went outside to say hello. So, he likes to play with next door's dogs, it's fine. And they like to wind him up. That's fine too. He started asking for the stupidest things though. Like, he's got this thing at the minute where he'll sit in front of his food bowl, because he's a nutter, and just make stupid noises. And that's his way of asking if he can eat. Like, what are you doing? Why are you doing it? Where's Mr. Carrot? When you get Mr. Carrot? Go get Mr. Carrot. Yeah, mine, like, has no interest in playing right now, apparently. Oh no, it's fine. Put that through there. Right, now, before we tie the next book in, I'm going to check. Make sure that is enough. Yes, it is. Alright, we're going to get the middle book. Again, you can see, loop, tie through both ends. We're going to make sure that it is the right way up. There we go. We're going to put it in the middle. Again. We're going to pull these tight. Again. And we are going to tie a knot again. You should totally become familiar with tying like a knot with your fingers, because there we go. Alright, so that is not going anywhere. Again. Again. Right, we're going to trim the ends. Again. We're going to go through. We're going to check all of our ends are nice and neat. They are. Brilliant. Oh, they're not. That's not. Oh, that's because I wasn't sure if I was going to swap that one out for t-shirt as well, which I might do now, to be honest. Alright, okay. And then, the moment of truth. I'm going to give it a bit of a squish. Totally, like, got my measurements a little bit wrong, but that's fine. It's fine. I'm not that bothered. It's just to keep everything together, really. And I've still got to add my embellishments. I'm going to, like, do that, add that around there. I could actually tighten that up a little bit more. And there you have a very badly made midori style. They used to have like a bead like there's one of the ways you can do it where you put a bead on it so that the bead goes there. I do actually think I could probably pull that tighter. Yeah, there we go. Alright, so ignoring the fact that I am having several moments today and that I got my measurements a little bit wrong, but then I have got bits that I want to add on as a feature. Obviously we had the bit of leather that I really liked the look of, so I'm going to add that on somewhere to add to it. And as you use it, that leather will stretch and it will straighten. So like if I actually push it down properly and hold it down properly, it is still a little bit short. My measurements were a little, I don't know why my measurements were a little bit off. Maybe forgot to leave a, oh no, I forgot to leave a, so I remembered to leave a 1/4 inch allowance around the top and forgot to leave the 1/4 inch allowance around the sides. So there we go. Remember to leave your 1/4 inch allowance. In my case it's going to be easily fixed. I think I'm actually probably just going to add yeah, like I say, it's because I didn't leave that 1/4 inch allowance, and that's actually quite important. You don't have to have this arrow bit here. I've included it because I like it, and I'm possibly going to add a toggle there for it. But the whole point of this particular style, ignore that for a second, is that you just have it kind of like that. That you can then just add that round like that. You can take the exercise books in and out without undoing any of that. So you literally can go in and you can be like, right, I've filled this one now. I can slide it out. You can just slide it out and then you can get another one of the same size, and I am going to show you how to make some simple pamphlet stitch ones. And then you can slide it back in again, and then you've got a brand new book. And that is the point of these, so that you can carry all of your notes around with you. When your notebook is full, you can take it out and put a new one in, okay? And that's what that is. What I'm actually thinking of doing, obviously I've got my very posh paper for inside. What I might do is use some of my rabbit leather, and I might do some relief work on the front. And how I would do that, for those of you who are vaguely interested, is actually stick some cardboard shapes of whatever I want on the front here, and then add the leather over the top and burnish around each of the shapes as I glue it down, which I could technically show you now, but I believe Kaylee wants to see little books. I'm really annoyed with how much of the front is fine, the back is not. So I think what I might do then is just, we might add an extra layer. I'm having a moment. Yep, little book. I know, I've not forgotten. So I might just add an extra like bit either side, probably glued on, just to make it a little bit longer, and include that in the design. But yeah, so there you go. That is a fauxdori or midori style, whatever you want to call it, traveller's journal. It is easier than I made it look. It's just that I'm very tired. Oh, congratulations! Yay! Alright, so that's project number 1. Let me grab very quickly a couple of things, mostly paper, for project number 2, because if I don't show Kaylee how to do this, I feel like I may be disowned as a sister. So bear with me 1 second. Did you all enjoy talking amongst yourselves? Alright. Okay. Well, I accidentally boiled the kettle and poured some hot water into my coffee. So, I'm going to use the card and paper. I was going to use some cartridge paper. A little while ago I decided I was going to make a friend a book. And that friend was unimpressed with this idea. So I'm just going to use some bits from that and then use the rest for Kaylee's book later in the year. Oh, you can all hear my my ASMR. Oh wait, do you want to look at me too? Dun, dun, dun. I have a face! And I drink loudly. Ah, 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 ah. Right, so let me quickly talk through what we're going to do next for those of you who were lurking or weren't here earlier or just weren't listening. That's fine too. So, I am going to show you how to make... Are you paying attention, Sammy? Screw you, Kay. One of these. This is a teeny tiny book. Okay. Alright, I made this a little while ago. It's fairly simple. You can make them any size, but they work really well on this very small scale. As you can see, I know, right? I've not got around to doing this. Now, Kaylee has come up with the idea that I could do a tiny book cover for it, and also do refills. So it'd be like a mini key ring that you could get refills for like 50p or whatever, or make your own. So we're going to very quickly run through. I say quickly, we've got an hour-ish. So we're going to run through how to make it. Now, underneath this amazing paper that I got from... Where did I get it from? I got it from What's-Her-Face. The lady I get all my spooky stuff from. I've totally forgotten her name. But she does wrapping paper. She says wrapping paper, and I said it's a book cover. Right? It's totally a book cover. The card underneath, this is just a white, it's a thin white card from the, this will have been from the back of a notebook. So you know, like when you buy an A4 sketch pad from like a shop, and I'm not talking those stupid lined refills, I mean an actual sketch pad, which I would show you, but I've packed all of mine. Like this, there we go, that's my A3s just here. Right, so you get these sketch pads, everything's falling, and usually on the back they have a sheet of card. These sheets of card are absolutely perfect for making books with, and it doesn't matter what kind of books, whether you're going to go down the Coptic bind route or these tiny books or case bound or anything else like that. The card that is on the back of those sketchbooks is absolutely perfect for making books. It's like you get a 2-for-1 when you buy your sketchbook. Okay, now what I do want to try and do with this, I don't think I'm going to be able to reuse the actual paper, although it's pretty well stuck on, so we'll see. So I'm going to use my currently existing mini book to make some measurements. I might scale it up a little bit. I do have a pencil here somewhere. I literally just had it in my hand and I moved it, and now it's lost and gone forever. I don't know what I've done with my pencil. Where is it? Did I put it down there? No, I put the ruler down there. Oh my god, I'm so organised. I accidentally picked up some peanuts whilst I was out in the kitchen. Do you like it? Accidentally picked up some peanuts. I literally just had my pencil in my hand and now I can't find it. What have I done with it? Did anybody see what I did with my pencil? Was anybody watching enough? Can we rewind the video? Is it me? Am I your headache? Oh my god, what is wrong with me? Right, we're going to use a pen. That's how that's going to work. Right, so we're going to use this pen that I apparently have instead of a pencil. You're sitting on it. Probably. I am probably sitting on it. Right. No, we're not going to do that. Right, so I'm going to go in this top corner here. I've got this bit of bit of like, I could just use the card from the thing, couldn't I? I don't know if it's going to be thick enough. Rather than destroying this book. And then I could give this to Kaylee. What do you reckon? It'd just be a Coptic bound because the holes are there. Do you want a bat? Do you want a bat notebook? Sketchbook thing? Or do you want the other one? Would you rather I did this sort or the flowery sort? This sort would have an exposed binding on the back. Oh, yeah, okay. Right, why did I not think that you might say that? Right, so I'm just going to grab that A3 notebook again. Okay. Apparently. Because my sister wants everything. The joy of being a younger sister, I guess, is that you get everything. Right, so, I'm going to take you back down to my knee. You know what? I'm tired. I don't know about special. Right, so I'm just gonna do a quick, like that, and then I'll straighten these lines up in a second, like that, and then I'm gonna do. Obviously, if you haven't already got one, and you kind of want to do it from scratch, you'll need to make your paper first, and I will show you how to do that in a moment. But I'm being lazy, so it's fine. It's allowed. I'm allowed occasionally. Alright. Okay, roughly going to do that. Okay, so if you were doing this from total scratch, you don't have one of these. Let's ignore that exists for a moment. Okay. I would say get some printer paper, but I happen to have this A3 cartridge paper right next to me. So I'm going to use this A3 cartridge paper because it's right next to me. What you'll need to do is decide how big you want your pages to be. Now, these ones, ruler, are 4.5 centimeters by 3-ish centimeters. Okay, 1.5 inches by 3/4, 4, 3, 8, whatever. Longer. Alright, so you decide what your length is going to be. I'm actually going to make it slightly bigger than that. So, the length for... I'd love to know where I've put my pencil. It's going to bug me. It's going to bug me because I had it in my hand. And I put it down. And now it's gone forever. And that is the annoying thing about being a jazz. Right? Is you put things down. You don't even have to move half the time. You should just like be existing. You'd just be like la la la, existing away, doing your own thing. You put something down and it disappears, and that's the sacrificial paintbrush. Helpful, but not what I'm after. Well, I'm still going to do it in pen, but I'm just annoyed. Actually, do I still have a pencil piece here? I don't even know anymore. I've got the elephant right next to me, which also probably has pencils in it. It is probably actually by the kettle. I probably took it out with me when I made the tea, coffee stuff, and that's right. So I've got this pencil, it's fine. I've got my Faber-Castell pencil. It's all good. I do have pencils, it's just that that's my favourite one, or at least one of my favourite ones. It's my Sakura with a 0.7 2B lead. You know, some things are just important. Alright, okay, so I've got a pencil. So I'm going to make this particular set of pages. Let's go 2 inches high. Look at that, actual measuring. And then, how long is this? Let's have a look. That's what, 11.5? So if we say that, go 10 inches long and see how many pages that we've got. And in fact, if we do that by... Try and make it fit to your paper, basically, is what I'm saying. So you can fit as many pages per page of paper. And whatever you want your thickness of your page to be, so say I want this to be 1.5 inches wide, you double that. So you would want 3 inches per page. 6 inches, 9 inches. And we're not quite going to get another one out of that page. But we can get 3 pages per line. Alright, and then you're going to measure. Fun. Why are you double siding? Oh, to post your canvases. This is why I don't like posting my work. Because, you know, you have to do that effort stuff. So what I'm going to do now, did I say 2? I did say 2. Is mark 2 inches up, all the way up the piece of paper on both sides. Okay? Obviously, if you're doing this on print paper, you'll get less pages. It's just how it is. But if you're making it smaller, you'll get more pages. Woo! I'm going to make many pages and see how we do. It might be like the world's smallest tome. It'll be fine. We got this. Alright. So yeah, so mark your 2 inches all the way up. Do you like my perilously perched coffee? I'm totally waiting for it to spill. To be fair, if it spills on the page, it's not a loss. It means you'll have an aged tome. Wait, what? Well, why do you need double-sided cardboard? Wait, are you actually sticking them on cardboard and not on actual canvas? I'm so confused. Are you... Because, like, I have an excess of cardboard if you need cardboard. Just saying. Right, so again, we're going to go up the side and mark the 2 inches. Now, it's slightly over 2 inches because I am marking with the top of the ruler. But as long as I remember to do that all the way up, that is not a problem. Like, don't mark 2 inches, mark over the top of your ruler, and then mark 2 inches further down your ruler, because you'll lose, I mean, you'll only lose about 1/16 of an inch, but over time that could make a lot of difference. What are you doing on Mummy's phone? Is it because we're making tiny books? Has Mummy abandoned me again? Is that what's going on right now? Is she shouting at the boys? That would not surprise me. Also, probably make sure that your ruler is straight as you're doing it. That also makes a difference. And we'll get one more on here, like we did on the other side. That looks about right. And mark that off. And then, yeah, I figured as much. You're going to move the A3 sketch pad from underneath you because it's actually in the way for a moment, and also move the cutting board because that also is in the way for the moment. Where you've marked your 2 inches all the way up the page, you now need to draw a line. Okay, so we're going to draw a line, and you're basically, what you're doing right now is measuring out your pages. Now, with the ones that I did in the miniature book, I decided that I actually wanted what's called a deckled edge, which is a lot of the times created by how the paper is moulded, but you can also create it by using your ruler to rip your page instead of cutting it with a straight line. Now with this one, I'm just going to grab a pair of scissors and try and cut straight. And it's not going to be straight at all, and it'll be fine. So we're just ruling our paper, going across. This video will be going on YouTube so that it will be available forever, so you can go back and re-watch. Firstly, the madness involved in making the other one, but just how to make this one in general. Okay, I'm going to go all the way across there like that. We're going to use the coffee cup to hold the paper up like so. She wants a mini book. She could probably have this one. Or you could make a one using the things that you're learning in this video. Alright, so you've got your rule marks all the way up your piece of paper. Remove my coffee and put it into my face and drink loudly because I know you all love it. It's just how I swallow. It is literally just the right. You can't. It's just how I swallow. I'm not even. It's not even conscious. It's like, oh my god, you all made me so self-conscious about drinking now. I'm trying to swallow quietly, and it's just not. It's just not a thing. I don't care anymore. I'm gonna try really hard not to care, but it's probably not gonna work. Right, so now we're gonna recheck our width. So we decided we were gonna have pages that were 1.5 inch wide per side. The official term for what we're doing right now, by the way, is we are making a signature. Yeah, so it's just such a shame we're just short of getting an extra page in. I might keep those and make a whole extra short signature out of those. Yeah, we'll see. Right, so we've marked 3 inches. We're going to mark 3 inches across each line. And then, would it surprise you to know, we're going to draw some more lines. Now, this is not an official way to make books. I didn't learn this from a video or anything. In fact, how I make my big books is a little bit different. But this is just literally to make those miniature books. I was sat around one day messing about and decided that I wanted to make a miniature book, and this is the method. Okay. This is the method that I came up with for making. I appreciate the recycling, by the way. It makes me very happy. Like, everybody should do it. But yes, if you ever need any extra cardboard, due to the amount of ridiculous sized paper I get delivered, I pretty much always have cardboard lying around. I use it for a lot of things. I don't know if you've noticed. Like, let's make a diorama. Okay then. Now, the reason that I am marking all the way up instead of just, you know, once or twice like we did with the other one is because obviously my ruler is not A3. I'd like to have an A3 ruler. That would be nice. But it's not going to happen. About as much as, you know, people putting money onto my PayPal for my tattoo is going to happen, I guess. It's still going to bug me. I don't like it when people say they'll do a thing and then they don't do the thing. Like, it's a good job I had the forethought to actually, like, save the money, isn't it? Really? Right, so we're going to draw across where our lines are. What? That message was from Leicester College telling me places are filling up fast. Hey, I've already enrolled. I'm good. You stop texting me. I've never seen one. Our Poundland's really small. Alright, and I've literally never seen a meter ruler in there. I'd have to, like, make it into two. What I need is a 50 centimetre ruler. Like, a half metre ruler, but with inches on it. Whatever 50 centimetres is in inches, that's what I need. A 24-inch ruler. I don't know. I don't know. I don't even know if it exists. But that's what I want. So, there. I'm excited to be getting a new tattoo though. I still don't actually know what I'm getting done. I just know it's a frog. Just like, you're the tattooist, you deal with it. Alright. Yay! Soft play. So, you could use scissors. You may not get the straightest of lines, so I'll do the first one with scissors. There's some scissor ASMR, hang on. I actually am going to do, so I don't get mixed up, is put a small mark on all the ones that are just under 3 inches so I can keep them separate. Okay. I'm gonna like do an entire video where I don't talk, right, and you just listen to like scissors. I'm sure you'd all love that. Right, so check which way it folds easiest. Gonna go that way, and you're literally just gonna fold that in half. I have a handy bone folder just here. You could use a ruler, a pen. Biros are really good. The lid off of a glue stick, just to press that down. You want that as flat as you can make it. Turn it over, do it on both sides, otherwise oddly it does make the fold a little bit off center. It's quite odd, like it twists it. And then you're going to do that with all your pages. So you're going to take it, you're going to see which way it wants to fold. Did you know paper has a grain? Today's paper exercise for you. We could have done the pages the other way and it would have been really bad because it wouldn't have folded properly. So I'm going to just use the lid of my glue stick here to just push that in like that. Okay, add it to the pile, and you're going to repeat a million times until you have enough pages. You see, I do this on so many different scales. This is like the least fun part of making a book, I think. Other people love it, they find it very therapeutic, but for me, I'm just like, no, I want to get it done. Alright, so there's 3 pages. I'm going to keep these off to one side and do something with them later. So we're going to do that. Now, I find scissors to be a little bit slow. So I'm going to get the ruler and the sharp pointy thing and do it that way instead. Man, I need a new cutting mat. I need a new cutting mat, and I need a new lap board, and I need tables and just like that. See? We're going to make this way. I'm going to do all the strips and then I'm going to cut them up and then I'm going to do all the folding. Alright, so like if you're watching this on YouTube you can fast forward it. Can you imagine this? Like if I had the video technology, I would totally learn how to do that time-lapse thing that they do, so you could like watch this but really quickly. You obviously can't do that on a live stream, but it's all your own fault for watching the live stream, to be honest. You're all like, what can I do with my day? I know. Let's go and watch Jazz be an absolute disaster. It's like the most fun you can have with your day, watching Jazz be an absolute disaster. Right, so we're just gonna, like I say, if you are small, and are not allowed to use sharp knives because they are sharp and pointy, and as we have already proved today, can cut our fingers open. You can do this with scissors. It's just that for me, I find scissors tedious, and I just kind of can zip along. Usually I have a slightly bigger, like basically when my student alone comes in, I need to write a list of things that I just need to replace. And then I'm going to go shopping. Oh, Sammy, I get my student loan before the craft fair in November. I get my student loan in October. Now, obviously, I'm buying my nice new Smexy printer. New Smexy printer. Which is going to not be cheap. I think it was about £800 for my new printer. So that's fun. And I want to buy a set of backup ink as well. And I know you can get quite a lot of ink prints from the first lot on an eco tank. I think it's something like 4,500. But since I don't know when that will run out. Right, so now what you could do, and what I might do right now, is make sure you've got all these in nice, neat. Yay! See, that's what partners are for. And you could cut along the lines. Obviously, make sure they're all the right way around because we've got one that's shorter than all the rest. I'm going to do it, but not with them all at once. Don't do it all at once because they will move whilst you're doing it. But you could do it with scissors. Again, don't do them all at once. So I'm going to do. Let's go with 2 at a time. And I'm just going to use the scissors for this bit because why not? Remove the short ones out of the way so we do not fold them into the book. Probably going to make a separate book out of those. Right, and we're just going to cut our pages ready for the signature. I'll put them in a pile. Put them off to one side. Again, 2 more pages. I'm going to cut the short ones. Move them out of the way. Try not to move them whilst you're cutting them, that would be useful. Now, despite all your careful measuring and your careful cutting, ooh, that was squeaky, your pages will not actually be all the same size. Don't worry about it. It's a thing that happens somewhere along the lines. Like, it's like some weird physics thing, I'm sure. Right, cut the short ones. Move them out of the way. Oh God, I can't imagine taking Vince. I cannot, no. See, this is why you need to come with me, Kaylee. 4th of November, Kaylee. Kaylee, come with me, Kaylee. Alright, so we have a small stack of 3" by whatever I decided, 2" paper. We are now going to do some folding and make some signatures. Now, with these ones, oh, I'll show you in a minute. Let's do the folding. Do the folding. Do the folding. Now, don't fold them more than one at a time. There is a reason for that. If you fold them more than one at a time, you won't get a precise fold. Oddly. You're going to be penniless. You're already penniless. But if you come as my carer, right, you get in for free. See how this works? You can come and be a VIP. I'm totally stacking these. Oh no, I am stacking them. I thought I was stacking them wrong. For some reason today, I really just want to make a left-handed book, and I don't know why. I've got it in my brain that I want to make a left-handed book. Ah, so you'll be suntanned. But I can't, like, it's literally, I cannot go by myself, okay? It's one of those ones. And if you don't, I might have to ask Steph. Or worse, Vince. And I need somebody who's going to enjoy it to come along with me. Because, like, you have to, like, do the whole From Leicester thing. After last time, love her to pieces, but also no. What I love about this, and I've not checked this yet, but I don't think that when it goes onto YouTube, the chat goes on. I'm not sure actually. Could somebody go over to my YouTube channel and tell me if the chat's there? Like if it's like part of the video. Because I don't actually know. Oh yeah, drop a follow, whatever. If you're new here, please, please, please drop me a follow. I only need 15 more people. It's just 15 more people until I stop asking for followers, okay? There are literally people waiting to give me their Prime subscription. Just like... oh dear. Gothfrog Art. I'm Gothfrog Art on everything, baby girl. Gothfrog Art on Instagram, Gothfrog Art on DeviantArt, Gothfrog Art on YouTube, Gothfrog Art on here. Originally I thought of going with Gothfrog Creations, but then I thought that would just confuse people. So, Gothfrog Art it is. You say it quickly enough, it starts to mean absolutely nothing. Oh dear. Oh yeah, this is fun. Would you like to know some of my feedback? Apparently, sometimes when I laugh, it's a little bit annoying. Now, what I want to know is if it's more or less annoying than when I drink. So, oh dear. Right. Okay. I'm not a fan of Jimmy Carter. I don't know how I feel about that. It's like I have many different laughs as well. I have like my full on laugh, you know, the one that you found something so funny it brings tears to your eyes laugh. I have that one. And then I have my polite laugh. You know, where somebody said something that they're meant to be funny and you don't want to break their hearts and tell them it's not funny. And you're like, ah, yeah, that's funny. You know. I don't use that one very often. That one's saved for like interviews and stuff. It's like you can go to an interview and be like, oh yeah, yeah, okay, I totally get that. What are you talking about, you weirdo? Yeah, so many different laughs, but apparently my laugh is annoying. And do you know what? I don't actually care. I don't care that people think my laugh is annoying. I mean, I'm massively self-conscious about the drinking. That's properly like... It's really got me. It's just like, what do you mean? My swallowing is loud. What? Yeah, like, I'm so self-conscious about that now. We're totally going to go past 3 o'clock today as well because we're going to finish this. So, just so you know, if you're planning on leaving at 3 because you've got other things to do, I will be exporting this to YouTube so you can finish watching this. But I'm totally going to finish this now because I'm not going to have all these random bits of paper lying around until next week because I just need, my house needs packing into boxes. I don't have enough boxes. I'm a little bit stressed about the whole thing. I've got nowhere to put anything. It's just annoying. My house isn't big enough to do what they want me to do. Thankfully, next weekend, not this weekend, I've got Lee coming over to help me because like I realised today I've been so busy getting the big shelves emptied that I've totally forgotten about the little shelves, and they have an entire copy of the Children's Encyclopedia Britannica on them, plus my nan's thimbles. Actually, I might get Vince to drop me off at... You can't find me. Can't find me? Wait just a cotton picking second. Whilst I, you know... It's definitely under Gothrock Art. It's definitely there. I definitely have a channel. I have 7 subscribers and everything. Currently only 2 videos because I hid a load. From like 2008. On YouTube, yeah. Right. Once you've finished folding all your pages, stop for a quick peanut snack. Yeah. Ooh, it might be. Oh no, because you'd still be able to find me. Are you doing it through your account tabs? Are you on like a kids restricted YouTube? Yeah, you might not be able to find me. Due to the amount of swearing in my videos. Yeah, I was going to say, I do have it listed as not for kids. Sorry about that, baby girl. Just because I swear a lot in the evening stream. But if you ever want to watch those, Mummy can find them and stick them on. Okay. Obviously don't want young people going along and finding my swearing. Because unlike my sister, I am a nice person. Right, I think I finally stopped bleeding, so that's nice. I was wrong. I was wrong! It's fine. Just bleed all over the place. It's all good. When your coffee is being less than amazing. Right, that's not the right brush. Where's the sacrificial brush? Actually, do I really want the sacrificial brush in my coffee? No. Just use the clean one. There we go. Okay, so yeah, so the videos are going to make no sense because I don't read out what people have said. Alright, so your next step is to make a signature block. You have all of your signatures, and basically your pages. You can now decide if you want to do... Actually, no, you can't. Ignore me. I was about to give you a decision that actually you can't do with this particular style. So, what you're going to need next is something. Now, in my case, I am going to use my freshly paid for bulldog clips. You can pick these up from Wilkinson's. Hey, Angel! Bulldog clips. I'm going to use one of these now, big ones. It's alright, it's early there. I understand, it's all good. And as it happens, I'm not finishing at 3 today, so because we've got to get this done, haven't we, guys? So grab a bulldog clip. Yeah, it should be big enough. Get your signature. Make sure that all of your pages have the spine at the back and the opening bit at the front. And this is where you make decisions as to whether you're going to have... Where's the one that we decided wasn't going to exist for a bit? Honestly, I've lost it. Lost the tiny book. This is why tiny books are a problem. I'm not saying that I am a messy crafter, right? But I might be a messy crafter. I might be. Not 100% certain. Yeah, I might be. It might be a thing, and it's not definite. it's not definite. It's just a maybe. How have I lost that? Oh, it's there. It's literally there. I just couldn't see it. Right, so you'll notice on this one, I included shush you, an inner page of a different colour, so you can decide whether you're going to do that or not. I think that I might use my very nice paper to do that with, because that's how much I love my sister. Or some other words similar. I'm not, right? I'm not messy. I'm just unorganised. It is not the same. Right, so we're going to get some paper, any paper. You can use any paper you've got. You can use newspaper if you really want to, right? We're going to get some paper and we're going to measure out another 2 pages. So in this case, it's going to be 3 inches by 2 inches with the pencil. With a pencil. Yes. Do you mean purple? But that's this bit up here. Okay. What do you mean this bit? Lots of purple. This bit. Okay, cool. Right, so that's my sister's request. We're going to do the purple bit of this. This I think this paper was from somewhere like Paper Chase or something like that. Don't really remember. It's going to be the best way to do the page on that one then. I'm going to go that way. I'm going to go that way. We'll see how much we can get in. Alright, so we're going to do 3 inches. Okay, by, now here's the fun bit, is making sure that you get this bit as straight as you can. I'm going to measure my ruler up with my cutting mat. If you're using a cutting mat, there will be straight lines on there that you can make sure that you're on, which is, you know, useful. Okay, and then we're going to measure up 2 inches. Right, I do that on both sides. So again, we're going to use our cutting mat and our ruler just to try and make sure that we've got that, not that way, straight line. When you cut this out, would leave a tiny bit of an edge just in case you're like amazing measuring doesn't work, which is a strong possibility. Look, my amazing measuring did not work. How has that not worked? Right, it was just 3 there, 3 there. 3 there. 2 there. I don't even know. Right, so we're just going to cut a bit out. Do you know what? It would actually be really easy. And I'm an idiot. We're just going to go with that for a moment. Take one of your pages. Unfold it. Actually, I wasn't far off. Just the lines aren't straight. Okay, that's fine. Alright, so we're going to move that across a little bit and get some more of that. There we go. Alright, and you're going to use your page as a template. Like a sensible person would. Not like Jazz. Okay, and we're going to just make that a little bit bigger, because we're going to need to fold that and glue it. So we're making it a little bit bigger. Shut up, Kaylee. So that's going to be your front page, however we decide to put that in. Do you have a particular part? You're totally ruining my nice piece of paper. Is there anywhere else that you would like me to randomly cut, or are you happy for me to just go ahead with the back page? I like this bit. This bit's great. Maybe dark purple at the back. Maybe go for a dark purple at the back. Does that suit your majesty? This darker purple at the back? Alright, you just knob. You are our knob. Ah, the problem is that the paper is not square, so that's fun. Alright, we're just going to draw that bigger. There we go. There we go. My sister, ladies and gentlemen, is a knobhead. Which is why I am lovingly making her this book and a poster that says knobhead. Alright, so again we're going to fold these in half. Again, it's not going to be exact, it doesn't need to be. We're going to trim it down once we've glued it. Make sure I'm going to get those folds in. And then, okay, just going to clip all of these together. Now there's a reason why we're going to do this before we do anything else. And we're going to need to use our faithful bulldog clips. Any clip that you've got will work. Add your front and back pages. Just make sure everything's... because what we're trying to get now is the thickness of the spine. So, I'm going to do that. I'm going to grab the clip and we're just going to put it on. So I'm trying to get the thickness of the spine. So we're just going to grab a clip, put it on there. Yep, pegs will work. If it will open wide enough, depending on how many signatures you've used. I'm just actually going to grab two so I can hold them both in place for a second. And you will need these in a moment for gluing as well. But for now, it's just to hold it in place whilst we measure it on our cardboard. So, we're going to go back to our cardboard. We're going to ignore these lines we drew in pen earlier. Yeah, we are going to measure slightly bigger than our book. So, we know that our pages are 2 inches high. Yep, so I am actually going to measure 2.5 inches. No, we'll make it 2.25. 2.25 inches. 2.25. 2.25. Just so we've got some playroom, basically. And we know that this way is going to be 3 inches. So we're going to do 3.25. Get that 1/4 inch in there. And we're going to cut that in half to make our 2 front and back boards. 2.25. And half of 3.25 is less. So it's 1.5 plus a little bit. So it's just, that is not the centre. That's because that's not 3.25, Jazz. Amazing. I am so good at this. For some reason, instead of 3.25, I did 3.75. And then couldn't understand why the centre wasn't where I thought it should be. Yeah. Okay, so we'll try that again. So that's 3.25. Half of 3 is 1.5. Half of the 1/4 is a little bit. Now you can work this out on your ruler, and then it should be 1.5 plus a little bit. Yeah, brilliant. So that is half there. And 2.25. Do that there. Triple measure everything. So that should be 1.5 plus 1/8 of an inch, which it is, and then that should be 1.5 plus 1/8 of an inch, which it is. So that'll be our front and the back. Right, front, back. Now, I'm going to get rid of this line before it confuses the crap out of me. We're going to need a spine. Spine. Spiny spine. Spine. Okay. Now to get our spine, we have pegged this together. I'm going to lift it up a little bit because I keep showing things with the camera and it's not quite there. Right, so we've pegged this together, and it's going to be a case of you hold it on the line of your front and back cover. You grab your pencil and you mark where that comes up, and then we can straighten it out. And it's that simple. And because the thickness of your signature is going to be different for every person depending on how many pages you've used. Obviously this one's a lot thinner than this one is, so the signature was thinner, so the spine was thinner, okay? So you use your actual pages, you clip them together, you hold them together, you make sure that it's the folded side that you are measuring, and you hold it against the straight line you've just drawn for your front and back, and you measure it against that, okay? Have we got that? Do we understand that? Can I move on? I think about it, I've never seen a frog drink. I've seen a frog eat. I've never seen a frog drink. I should do that. Right, since we've got nobody saying please show me that again, I will move on. Okay, so I'm actually going to measure that. And it turns out it's actually about ½ inch, which works out nicely. Measure the ½ inch. I don't even know how I managed that. That was a pure fluke. Okay. I'm going to draw a nice straight line there too. Alright. I'm going to write spine on it. Okie dokie dokie dokie. Now, what we're going to do now is put the cutting board between my actual sketchbook paper and the back. Right, let's not cut my sketchbook paper out. Okay. Okay. Right, we're going to get that, and we're going to get the sharp pointy thing, which, by the way, I remembered to put the lid on. Sharp pointy thing. And we are going to do some very careful cutting. So we're going to go all the way across all three. And I like to do controlled shallow cuts until I'm through the cardboard, because obviously a lot of the other grey board that I work with for my other books, as Kaylee has seen, is quite a lot thicker, and I've had to take box knives and coping saws and all sorts of stuff to get that cut. Kaylee once rang me and I was cutting the stuff out at the time, and I like literally got an A1 sheet of 5mm thick grey board, right, and I'm there with a box knife leaning it up against the sofa, desperately trying to cut out bits of grey board to make the sketchbook that I made for myself, the floral one. And yeah, it was just an absolute piss nightmare. Like, okay, I'm gonna cut that out. Kaylee was just like, "Are you having fun?" Like, yeah, totally. And then you'll have this lovely window in your sketchbook. It's fine. It makes absolutely no difference to the sketchbook. Entertain, yeah, that's one word for it. Alright, so I'm now going to cut down the separate pieces. Okay, spine. Now, I tend to hold my craft knife at a bit of an angle. If you can avoid doing that, please do. It just makes it a little bit easier, but it's not a huge problem. Just occasionally you'll get a bit of a chamfered edge, that's all. Floss lid. Cool. See-through? What do you expect? I've lost the see-through thing. Oh no, it's literally in front of me. It's just that it's see-through. Doing so well right now. Okay, so the other thing I need to do before we go any further is just cut down. Now, the other thing that I would often recommend with bigger books is that you sand down your end pages, because you can't tell at the minute. You kind of can tell, but if you look at this nice straight foredge that we've got here, and then look at the other side, which is like totally not straight, and I'm sorry Kaylee, but I'm not doing anything about it. So I don't love you that much, but I might sand it after the video. Okay, right, so I'm just gonna cut down a bit of the overlap that we've got on the front and back pages. Just make sure we're still straight. Straighten it as many times as you think is necessary when you're doing this, and then straighten it a couple more times just in case. Yeah, it's true. Like I say, if it does bug you, I will sit and sand it because I love you, but right now I don't want to do it. Just trimming down some of the overlay that we left as an extra on there. Right, so next bit we're going to do, we are going to double, triple, massively quadruple check that our signature is 100% straight. We're going to use 2 clips, pegs, vice grips, children, whatever, probably don't use children, at each end of our book. And this is where we get our favourite thing in the whole wide world out. Now, if you get this right, you can actually use your clips as a stand. And we can do this bit, and then I'll show you the rest of it while this bit's drying. So, we're going to get our Mod Podge. If I'm making these professionally, and when I make these professionally as key rings and stuff like that, I would actually use a Collall book binding glue. It's not the cheapest thing in the world, but this one was done with Mod Podge, so Mod Podge works just fine. Alright, you can use tacky glue if you've got tacky glue. Alright, Mr. Fly. And you're just going to get your glue and put a layer, not too thick, across the back folded edges of your signature block. Okay, just nothing, not too, don't go mad, you know, it's just going to be enough to hold all this, and we're going to do a couple of these layers, so don't stress too much. And that's it, just go add a little bit of glue. This is called perfect binding, by the way, using the glue method, because it's perfect. I don't know. I just know what it's called. Right, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to make a cover, because really we need a cover for a book. And what I want to use for the cover is the Soul of Kaylee's Enemies. That might work, it might not. Now, whatever you use as a cover, it will need to be fairly decent. As it happens, I have got some other paper here, which is odd because I thought I'd put it all away. Bad choice. Bad choice. So I will be good and not use the one with spiders all over it. And what you're going to want to do, first of all, is make that knot keep doing that. Thank you. I'm going to cut the excess off actually. Might even be able to, sorry. Right, you need to know which way your paper folds. This is what I mean, right? If you fold paper, not so much with this stuff, but definitely with other stuff, so that way gives me more resistance than folding it that way. All right, so I now know that the grain runs this way across. This is why it's easy to fold. So I want to work making sure that that will be the way that the fold is when I make my cover, and it helps the book. It helps the book. Okay. Yeah. This dries really quickly because it's a really thin layer of glue. You're going to want to do 3 or 4 thin layers of glue. Okay. Just keep adding those on there. Like that. And it will dry nice and quick, which is why we can do it on a live stream. Which is cool. Okay, so we're going to do that. Alright, like that. Wipe some of the excess glue off for a second. Put the lid back on, because you know that's sensible. I'll put that over there for a minute. Right, so with your actual cover, when you're lining this up on your paper, whatever paper you're using, firstly you're going to need to make sure you leave a decent edge. If you look, I don't think you can see it on the inside of this one, but you can see it on the inside of the back. Hang on. So if you look at the inside of this cover that I've made for the other book, you can see where I folded over the edges to give that nice kind of crisp cover so you can't see the cardboard. Okay, so you're going to need to make sure that you leave enough paper on when you're doing it. Again, see the yellow, okay, to make sure it can cover that. Now, I rather usefully already have a line drawn here, but I would say that's about 1 centimetre. Let me just double check. Oh no, it's a half an inch. Yes, a half an inch all the way around the outside. That's quite specifically saying the outside, and you'll see why in a second. So I'm just going to mark another half an inch up on this paper from there. Remembering we already gave this a little bit extra anyway. Okay, and then half an inch up is going to be, alright, thank you, there. So yeah, that should be, give or take, that. So if we put that on that corner, we've got half an inch there. Brilliant. So I'm going to draw that all the way across. A quick measure, what do you want? Say, I just use the lines, I think, on the chopping board. Chopping board? Really? It's a chopping board now. That's fine. Just going to use the lines on the chopping board, which I mean is accurate. It is technically a chopping board. I can't argue with myself on that. However, right, it is not the correct term. I don't know why they. I wonder why they're not called chopping boards. Because technically you chop things. I mean, you also cut things, but that's neither here nor there. It's not quite right. No, why did that go down? Everybody's very quiet. What are you all doing? 7, 2. Kaylee will be doing chores because Kaylee. Again, this doesn't need to be exact. I'm just being me about it. You just need to make sure you've got enough of an edge all the way around. Now, once you've got that, and you know you've got that. And we're going to do that. We're going to need to make sure we've got 1/2 inch at the other side, but we'll do that in a second. So we're going to put the ooh, cool, with cardboard. We're going to have our front section on. Kaylee, it's going to be green. I might put an extra cover on there or make it pretty. It's fine. Right, so there's our... I was going to do the pink, to be honest. I mean, once I've cut it out, it doesn't actually matter. I can rub it out. So we've got that. Then we're going to need to leave the world's smallest gap between the front cover and the spine. Now, I would say about... So that's a 1/4, so that's a 2/16 of an inch. That's roughly 2-ish millimeters, give or take, of a gap. It's just a small gap because it's a small book, okay? This would be like a much bigger gap if we were making a much bigger book, but we're not. Right, so you just have to deal with the fact that it's a very small gap. And you want to leave that on either side of the spine. So you're looking at, like I say, 2 millimeters, 2/16 of an inch, roughly the same. And you want to just leave that between both sides. So then you're going to do that, and you're going to get your spine, which is exactly the same colour as my wooden board, and therefore quite confusing. I've got to do the washing up after this. I'm not looking forward to that. Right, we're going to draw around that and then we're going to do that same 2/16 or 32ths or whatever. Tiny gap. Right, use 2 millimeters. In fact, just go with 2 millimeters and I'll stick to using my whatever that tiny measurement just there is. Okay. And again, doesn't need to be entirely 100% accurate, it just needs to exist. And the reason it needs to exist is because it'll help with the folding, okay, of the book. Straighten up the lines. Ow, my spine just made a really interesting noise stroke feeling. And then go in with your back. We did mark them earlier, front and back, and mark that in as well. Alright, and then when you cut this, you'll actually cut it all as one. But we're not done yet. Again, straighten that line out a little bit. And then we're going to add that 1/2 inch gap, or 1 centimetre, whatever you want to do, around the edge. I'm going to go with 1/2 inch because it gives me a little bit more space to play. Always err on the side of caution. If you think that 1 centimetre isn't going to be enough, go 1/2 inch. It's a little bit bigger, but not massively, you know, and it just gives you that extra bit of play space. Always err on the side of caution. It's like that whole like measure twice, cut once thing. Always err on the side of caution. Right, so next thing we're going to do is cut this out. With the sharp thing. Remember, as we have learnt many times today, sharp things are sharp and pointy and can hurt. At least this paper is nice and easy to cut. Okay, I need to get this done because I actually really need a wee. That's fine. All those like 12-hour streamers, I don't know how they do it. Just like, oh, just don't wee. I think they just don't wee. That's where I'm going with that one. Alright, so you've now got your cover and your markings No, she's getting a green one. Whether she likes it or not, she's getting a green one. Oh, we'll make it pretty later. Then, the next thing you do is you're going to get your sacrificial brush, and we're going to do another layer of glue on the actual signature. I'm just going to move that in a little bit because that's bugging me. Doesn't make any difference. Just another layer of glue. Just keep adding that glue. All of the glue. Make sure that you are covering every single page that you can see in your signature. All of the glue, 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 glue. Considering that I made this so that it was perfect, for some reason it's now really not. But it'll be fine. Right, so we're now going to glue the front and back and spine to the bit of paper. I add glue to the cardboard, not the paper. It stops the wrinkling from happening. Also, you could use, technically, a Pritt stick on something this small. That would also stop the wrinkling. But yeah, the best way to stop paper wrinkling is to glue the thing that you are sticking it to rather than the paper itself. So we're going to do a nice layer of glue on that. And then we're just going to put that where we marked earlier. And turn it over. Get the bone folder. No, we're not going to get the bone folder. We're going to get the glue stick thing. And just give that a rub all over to make sure that that is stuck properly. And that there are no bubbles in there. Yeah, like that. And you can actually see the shape of the cardboard that you've stuck on there. Okay? And we're going to do that with all of the... How have I lost that? No, I'm sat on it. Didn't lose it, I was sat on it. We're going to do that with all the pieces. So we're going to do the spine. There it is, spine. Things that are the same colour as my wooden board are not helpful. So we're just going to put glue on the bit at the back, not the bit that we marked because of how we've marked it. You're just going to put a thin layer of glue on the spine. And you're going to... And this is the same as you scale up. But I have like an actual thing that I would use for in between my spine and my covers, which I can't show you right now because it's packed, but I do, trust me. So just make sure that's nice and secure and level. Okay. And then you do it again with your back piece. So nice, like, it's not... You dip the brush once and you don't even use all the glue, okay? I would take a lot of that glue off and you just kind of make a thin layer of glue. You don't need a lot for this because there's going to be glue on the inside and the outside cover as well, a little bit, and you just need enough to attach it to the paper, so it's not a massive amount. And again, check your markings. Ooh, don't put it upside down. And make sure it's straight. Put it down, turn it over, use your whatever you're using to attach, glue stick, biro, whatever, and just give that a good rub to make sure it's attached. Okay, and again turn it over and give everything a really good firm press. Make sure everything's nice and attached. Probably don't use a curved cutting board like mine. Just saying. Now, this is the bit that I'm not convinced is actually a real thing, but it's what I do. So what I do now is I fold between the spine and the front or back cover, so there's a little bit of an overlay with the paper, so you can kind of see there's a bit of an edge of the paper, give that a good fold, and then I bring the spine and that back piece together, and it kind of forms this little bit of a concertina, and I just think that adds, you can see it there as well, it just adds like a nice little touch onto your book. I don't know if it's a real thing or not, I just really like doing it. I did it on my sketchbook as well. I think it looks nice. Right, so now we need to do our edges. My dog is making some noises that are weird. Right, so when you do your edges, you need to make sure when you cut that you can see the cut. I'm just going to move the book out of the way for a second. That you leave a good kind of that 2mm gap between the edge of your paper when you cut these triangles, okay? And that's again just to make sure that when we do our corners and our edges in a minute, everything is covered. It's not the end of the world if it shows through, it's just obviously this gives a nice finish. You can use a ruler if you want to, doesn't really matter. Alright, now we're just going to bend everything over before we get any glue out. So it's ready, and I will show you what to do with those corners, which by the way works much better on a bigger book. Like all of this is so much easier on a much bigger book, but you know, it is what it is. So where these corners are, where you folded, you can see there's a little bit of an overlap. You want to actually push that in before you fold. So you're just going to kind of, when you do fold, that will go in and cover the corner. Okay? I'll show you again on the other side. So, Kaylee, are you paying attention? You have your two corners. When you fold them like that, you can see there's a massive bit of an overlap just there. So what you do is you push that bit in. That's okay. Okay, and then when you fold these over, your corner will be covered. Alright? Okay, let's get some glue. And I would do that on all of them before you glue, so that you know that that's gonna like sit nicely when you fold everything over. I mean, obviously it's not a, it doesn't need to look pretty because we've got the inner and outer layers on this, but it just helps get those corners covered, and you want those corners covered. Right, I'm going to add another layer of glue to the book. And this time I've gone with a slightly thicker layer. I think it's probably going to be the last one. Probably, I say probably, we'll see. Right, it'll be the last one apart from the one that we used to attach it to everything. How do you make a tree? What do you mean by make a tree? Do you mean like a 2D flat tree? Because that's not so bad. This time we're going to actually put the glue on the paper because we're folding it in, it doesn't matter. You do your... I'm going to do this side first and just fold this in, not the yarn in, like so, making sure that we keep that crease. And that everything is attached. Wow, nice Josh, nice. I don't know why there wasn't enough glue just there, but there wasn't. Make sure you use enough glue. And And then to the other side. Oh, like a flat one. We could just print out a silhouette and cut around it, surely. I don't know why I've done that again. Glue on the right. Do your long edges first. Long edges first, not your short ones, Jazz. Again, just making sure to keep that gap, and then do short edges. And this is where we make sure that corner is nice and neat. Push it in and fold. Push it in and fold. Okay, and we're going to do the same at the other end. A bit more glue on that edge there, on the corners. Push those in and fold. Making sure we get our pen, bone folder, glue stick, whatever, paintbrush. Make sure those edges are nice and tight and covered. So that's your cover, okay? Kind of looks like a mini. If you wanted to like make dolls, like folders for like school and stuff, if you're into like doll photography and stuff, you literally stop just there, put it on the shelf, like, but we're not doing that. So the next step is to make sure that we're going to put that in the right place. And we have added an edge all the way around. Genius. So we're going to glue it to the back first. Again, not too much glue. Just buffer it up against the back of that board, making sure it's level. Making sure your gap all the way around is roughly the same. I say roughly because, you know, it doesn't have to be amazing. And then just for a minute we're gonna clip it on for a second and just give that a minute or so. Not a whole, we're not going to give it a whole minute because, you know, we're just not. It's just not how we roll. Okay. And then once we've done that, we will do a very thin piece of like bead of glue between that cover and that cover. If we need it, we will check that. Okay. Right, so I'm just going to unclip that for a second. I've totally made like the back spine too big, okay? I just want you to know that. She fell asleep. Yeah, she often has a nap on my stream tabs. It's just a thing that she does. Yeah, the fact that I'm making this for her is neither here nor there, really. Yes, I'm just shifting the spine into the center making sure that this is well and truly attached. And then I'm going to add a little bit more glue in a second to that back bit, but I just want to get a bead of glue running down here so that they're attached. And then I also want to get some extra glue running down this. It's really hard to show you this because it's so small, but glue down the spine, and then make sure that that is next to there, like so. I always like massively over measure my spines on these because I prefer to over measure than under. Just going to make sure that that front page is also attached. It's just the tiniest bit of glue between the cover and this front section, just to make sure it's all attached. And then I'm going to add glue to this front page here as well. And you're going to making sure you're a little bit straighter than I am. Yeah. Saying nothing. I'm going to attach that down with the bone folder. Make sure it's well and truly stuck on both sides. Alright, and then you will have, let's close that in a little bit. Obviously what I'm going to do in a minute once we've finished is put these in a clip and leave them overnight for the glue to dry. But Kaylee, wake up! Wake your mother up. So that we can finish. Okay, thank you, Knobhead. Right, so obviously I'm going to leave this in the clips overnight for the glue to dry, but there it is. One miniature book. Okay, they're never perfect, nothing I do is, but yeah, if you could leave those in clips overnight to dry, please do. It will help. And there you go, that's how now you can, do you know what I'm going to do now is I'm going to have a nice cup of tea, maybe some lunch, and go for a wee. That's what I'm going to do now. Then I'm going to do the washing up. Well, there you go. So that took us, what, an hour and a half to make that little thing. It's, like I say, it's thicker than the other one because I used a piece of printer paper for that one. So that's kind of what you'll get for a piece of printer paper, depending on your size. That's a piece of A3 cartridge paper and some sketchbook board. I will do some kind of design on the front of this for Kaylee. Yep. Kaylee's going to sleep through the important bit, but this is going on YouTube. Alright. Oh my god. So, that's 2 books that we've done today in the space of 3 hours. We did the Midori style Traveller's Journal, which I need to do a little bit of work with because, you know, it's mine. But there it is. We've got the Midori style with 3 notebooks in it. So we did that one. And that'll be carried with me for a while. I'm actually probably going to make a watercolour insert for it. And then we also made another, not as small, but tiny book. It's still, you know, it's a usable tiny book rather than that one. Okay. Any questions, as always, drop me a line. You can find me on Facebook under Gothfrog Art. You can find me on Instagram under Gothfrog Art. You can find me on YouTube under Gothfrog Art. Pretty much, if it exists, other than I'm not on Twitch. I'm not on Twitch. I'm not on TikTok, oddly. Actually, no, I might be on Twitch. Not sure. Don't even know anymore. But that is where you can find me. I am Gothfrog Art on all of the things. I would like to thank my extremely quiet mods who kind of popped in, said hello, and then didn't say anything else. Thanks, I guess. Thanks as always to Kaylee and Sammy and Angel and Tabs for coming in, John and Rich and anybody else who's joined us today. Thanks ever so much for bearing with me. I know we're 40 minutes past usual, but that's fine. This will go onto YouTube, so if you need to rewatch these amazing me cutting myself open or anything else like that, please feel free. Other than that, I will be back on Tuesday at 12:30. I hope everybody has an amazing weekend. Don't do anything daft, and remember that sharp things are sharp. I will see you all later. Bye.